Education Bureau Advisory Committee meeting to order. Today is Thursday, August the 4th at approximately 8:43.
Point seven.
Yes. And we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone- I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we have a moment of silence. Okay. Now moving on to our roll call. Camina,
Present.
Gabriel Castillo, Elizabeth Flores, Judith Gutierrez, Omar Minjas,
Present.
Salo Otero,
Here?
Marisa Ramirez, present. Magali Rodriguez. Present. Okay, we have two of our members that are requesting an excused absence today, which is Mr. Gabriel Castillo and Ms. Judith Gutierrez. Do we have a motion to approve this excused absence? Yes, a motion. Do we have a second? Motion carries. And do we have any public or citizen comments to bring to our meeting today?
No, ma'am.
Okay, moving on to the approval of the minutes for the July 7th, 2022 meeting. It should be on page 2. Does anybody have any comments or corrections that need to be made?
Then we would need a motion to.
Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I motion to approve the minutes.
Do we have a second motion?
Second.
Motion carries for the approval of the minutes. And today we're gonna bring our discussion with a possible action on adding the attendance roster to the monthly packet. And so that is something that we would have to vote on.
Madam Chair, the committee last month mentioned, due to the fact that by ordinance, we have a limit on excused absences.
Yes.
Some of the committee members thought it would be a good, idea to put it in the agenda so that everybody's aware of where everybody stands in terms of, absences.
So, do we vote on this,
I move that we include this in
the roster into the
our, so
packet?
this is really a report card.
Yes.
Did you report to the meeting?
So is everybody in agreement to go ahead and include it in our packet for the beginning the following month?
Yes.
It'll be every month after that?
Yes.
Okay, so motion carries to include the roster, attendance roster to the monthly packet.
I have a question.
We still need a
Okay.
motion and a second.
Salo moved.
Okay.
Do we have a second? Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
I have a question. Why is District 6 vacant?
Due to the fact that she had, more than 4 unexcused absences since January,
So she's off this board?
she's off the board. Yes, we
So-
advised,
So Marta has to name another person.
exactly. Councilmember, Dr. Marta Martinez has been advised.
And he hasn't yet, obviously.
Yes, no, this is very recent. We just advised a couple of weeks ago.
No.
I think she had her own business.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we have no business at all.
And so, as per the ordinance, because not all advisory committees are created by ordinance, ours
Right.
is. And so we have rules regarding absences and attendance. And so as per the rules of the ordinance, she forfeited her spot.
I think it's good, I think it's good to have, rules and regulations, I mean,
Well, of
it's only
course,
fair
of
to
course.
keep everybody in line, so.
No, we appreciate, I have to tell you what, we appreciate that
But
everybody's
the
participation.
deal is to have the rule and to abide by it.
Mhm.
We have a lot of rules, don't throw trash on the street, but nobody, here's a ticket,
And it's only unexcused absence.
Unexcused
right?
absences,
Unexcused.
yes.
unexcused.
For unexcused absences in a calendar year. So we start counting in January and from there
To December.
till December. Yes.
Calendar year. All right, any other questions on the attendance report? If not, we're gonna move on to the reviewing of the year-to-date financial statement, which I believe is on begins on page 5.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have the report. We've been looking at these numbers very, very thoroughly as we are approaching the budget presentation for next year. If any of you are interested, it's 3 days of presentations. We never know exactly when we're gonna go up, but if you have a chance to watch it on TV or attend, it's really interesting, the whole process with the city. Again, sometimes we present, sometimes we don't. It all depends on what council requests, but we're always ready. I had my practice presentation with management yesterday, and so we present the different projects that we're interested in having for next fiscal year. I can say we have been, as always, very diligent in making sure that we don't spend more money than what we have. And staff has been on top of that. And so we wanna make sure that we not only do that, but we are also completing all of our projects and all the things that we have. New for the new fiscal year is we're focusing more on data and research, which will bring us a better idea of where we are as things evolve, especially those of you in the hospitality industry know it's tricky to measure other than occupancy.
Yeah.
But now there's so many tools coming up, and so we're excited about bringing some of those tools to the CVB so that we can share that information with everybody.
Do you present it to the whole council at a city council meeting? Or do you do it privately?
The budget,
The budget?
it's presented, there's a workshop,
by the
it's
workshop?
3 days, and so next week we're gonna be at council chambers for 3 days.
Yeah,
Everybody's presenting, not everybody, we're all on the list, we all need to have our stuff ready,
right.
but we don't know exactly when we're gonna present. So it can be the first day, it can be the last day, but it's all in front of council, and it's all, there at council chambers.
What
Right.
days are those gonna be?
10, 11, and 12.
10 to the 12? Like 8 to 5 or? I don't
It's,
know.
the first day is 5 till 11, and then they, depending on how the first day goes, they decide if we're gonna start early the next day, or what the schedule is gonna be for the next 2 days.
Does anybody have any questions?
From 5 to 11 in the evening?
Yes,
No time to waste.
it's a long week. Budget week is a long week.
Does anybody have any questions on any of the financials or the next page, which is
All the
the
numbers are bilingual.
occupancy taxes?
We're bicultural community.
They're trilingual. Polish.
If there's no questions, then we're ready to move on to the strategic plan reviews, I believe.
Yeah, we always include the strategic plan just to keep us as a guide for us to see where we're going as we implemented it in the June.
I don't know if you wanna just briefly review it, being that we have some members that have probably not been to our meetings or.
Yes, so- Yes, no, of course. Thank you, Madam Chair. We have the strategic plan, so the idea of including the strategic plan is that we have, it's our guiding light. It's our guide to what, everything that we do has to be under these key objectives. And so a little bit of information that we always include is who we are. We are the organization that's in charge of promoting Laredo as a destination. We collect 7% of the tax for hotel stays, although the city collects the 7%, not all of it goes to the CVB. We share it with third-party funding and other endeavors. However, all of our funding comes from that hotel occupancy tax. And that hotel occupancy tax has very specific rules as to how it can be used. Our mission statement is to promote Laredo as a travel destination, influencing decisions at a state, national, and international level, as well as augmenting the awareness about our destination, and enhancing Laredo's image. And so these are our key objectives. So everything that you see, we made some changes to the report, and so now everything that we do has to be under one of those key objectives, so that we make sure that everything that we do is according to our strategic plan.
Thank you, Ivy.
Thank you.
And then now the overview
Of the month.
for the month of July.
Thank you. On page 8, you'll find the review. So we do a quick review of the main activities that we have during the month. You will see that we have a special report this month for Pony and for Sister Cities, but we still included it here. Just a correction, and Mayor Flores was very accurate in pointing it out, that it's not due to hotel availability, but it's due to the lack of hotel availability that several teams were not able to attend. So there's a correction on the,
But the word should be lack of.
So
Yes.
there weren't enough rooms?
correct. So between government contracts, Sister Cities and Pony,
Hotels were sold out.
yes. And I think
Which is good.
ADR was pretty good that weekend.
Also, another point is the actual rates are ridiculous, right?
Mhm.
They're almost 3 or 4 times
Yes.
because it's a lot of way to get it. but-
And that weekend, they went up even more.
Yeah.
So, yes, no, we saw the average daily rate. People were calling us like, I'm getting a hotel for $300 in Laredo. And I'm like, yep. And that's something that we've been trying to educate our visitor, lately, that now it's not as easy to get a room. You can't just get here and get a room. And it's not as easy to get a room under $100. Where before, you could get it anywhere. Now, you're gonna find that if you wanna stay in a certain level of hotel, it's gonna be above $90, above $100.
Is there any tax collection on like private rentals, Airbnbs and such?
The state collects, by law, the state collects,
Mhm.
but the city, doesn't.
Okay,
So I'm working with a couple of other cities to see how they did it, because there's only a couple of cities in Texas that have been able to do it. There's a catch there with the history, the previous taxes, and so I'm working on looking options basically of what we can do. But currently, by law, the state collects, so you will see it on the STAR report, you will see it on the source strategies, but you won't see it, it's not, the city's not collecting.
okay.
Which is the 6% for the state.
Yeah.
So there's no way to prevent that, because Sister City have to plan, what, a year ahead? And the ponies probably also, you have no
Mhm.
control that date either.
Yeah, it was until like 6 months before the event that we,
And they just chose the date.
that we learned that it was gonna fall on the same weekend, which, good problems to have, because we saw a lot of those people going to Sister Cities.
Yeah.
So we saw a lot of, and we did promote, Sister Cities, heavily during Pony. So we gave out information, we gave out the postcards, we were telling them about the event, so we did see, people from Pony going to, the Sister Cities Festival. So it was a little bit of an issue with the hotels, especially I think because of all the government contracts that we have right now.
Yeah.
That's what takes a big chunk of those rooms.
Yeah. But of course, it will be great that we didn't have them, overlapping. It's the same thing that
Mhm.
happens in February with
Yeah,
WBCA.
WBCA.
and-
Yeah.
Like, it will be the way that can be arranged.
It's at least a week.
And we have a
Yes.
couple of dates. We'll try to work with
Mhm.
Pony to see
And
what options.
now that they saw that it's an actual problem and
Yes.
it might continue.
Yeah, because we won't get the best of everything,
Yes.
we're kind
Yeah.
of limited, because
Mhm.
we're jam-packed and all in that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they did advise that a lot of teams didn't come because of that,
Yeah.
because of the lack
We
of
have a very busy.
rooms.
Yeah, like-
They didn't have they didn't have the funds because, the parents were paying
Everything.
Well, I haven't
close
seen
to
it
$1,000 per room,
I hadn't
for
seen
the
a
nights.
bucket brigade in a long time. I saw one last week. They're on Delmar. Of course, there was Knights of Columbus and stuff like that. But, remember, we used to have
Yeah.
bucket brigades for food bank, for,
That-
almost every weekend.
Well, during the pandemic, that kind of dwindled down, but we do have several teams that went from here to other tournaments. That one Pony won their
Yeah.
division and then went on to other tournaments. So we did see some of them coming to council and advising that they were gonna travel to.
I saw
other
that,
communities.
they had, written in their cars, their cash out, like,
Yes.
donate for our lunch, and we're hungry, the team is hungry, and, yeah,
And we do have, part of what we do for Pony, and I'll talk a little bit more, I'll let Joel talk a little bit more about that in the report, is we ask them, what's the average of their expenses during their stay. So we'll present a little bit more about that, in the Pony report. We also have, staff has been working with the Newcomers, and Friends group to provide destination training. A lot of people are new to the community. We want to ensure that they know what the city has to offer, as a destination, as a community, and so, we're partnering with them to offer, destination training, a special one. Sister Cities, of course, we also have, a detailed report on Sister Cities. But what I wanted to put in this one really quick is, we have Uruapan, Michoacan. There was a Sister City agreement that was signed in November of last year. We traveled to Uruapan to sign the agreement. Uruapan is the capital of the avocado in the world, basically. And so with so many businesses growing here in terms of avocado and produce, the city believes it's a good idea to have those relationships. And they came to Laredo, they were the guest of honor at the Sister Cities Festival. And so they brought their culture, their dancers, their products. And so it was really interesting to see something very different than what we're used to. The communities there are Purepecha, which is a culture that we regularly don't see here in the north. And so it was really interesting. We also surveyed, for several years, we've been surveying our visitors. And so marketing puts a little note on our ads that are out of town saying, if you bring this ad to our visitor office, we'll give you a little gift, which is one of our clear bags. And so we had 77 people bringing that to our office there, 86% coming from different cities in Texas. 25 reported staying at hotels, 52 signed up for the Visit Laredo newsletter, and the sources were family, social media, and the San Antonio Express News. Because we also put a big sign that says out-of-town visitors, check it. So even if you don't have the ad, if you see that sign, just go in. And so we had several people coming in and saying that they saw it, they heard from family or social media, or the largest one, San Antonio Express, was a good source. So here you can see that we had several different places where people were coming from.
So has that increased? I mean, the 86%, you know, from within Texas, have more people, have started to come to the sister cities more than it was in the past?
At least
or-
we have been able to survey more, I think.
Yeah.
So now we see more people coming in and doing the survey. Because there's no specific way of knowing if
Because
they're
we
coming.
weren't doing this before, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So we know that more people are coming, and this time we saw people, for example, Louisiana, Florida, a lot of people from Texas, we know and we saw that they were coming for pony. So we could see them like go in, because they had their jerseys or they had some sort, or they would mention that they were coming for the pony.
So for next year, it'd be good information, because then now.
Exactly, we can compare.
So this list of states are just the ones that you saw, not the ones that signed in?
No, those are the ones that they signed in.
It's the same
These are the
thing.
ones that signed in.
Right.
Yeah. And we have 21,850 attendees to the Sister Cities Festival during the 3 days. In Destination Leadership, we had, it's a gift that keeps on giving. Reina's award for Emerging Star. She keeps having presence in different media outlets, and she was interviewed for a very well-known tourism podcast there while we were in Florida, and so now it's live. It's a Break the Ice Media podcast, and you can listen to it in the link that we put there. There are several tournaments and conferences that we're working with, and of course this weekend is tax-free weekend, so we're heavily promoting that in our advertising outlets, especially in Mexico. And now for the pony report, I'm gonna let Joel.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of our committee. On page 11, this year we did a survey and we had one of our interns that, because we were multitasking, we had staff at the arena and staff here in the office and then doing this as well, so, but it was really good. We were able to survey 78 teams that came to participate. On the left-hand corner, you see the hotels based on the information that they submitted on where they stayed. We had a total of 3,780 total room nights. And what was interesting is, based on one of the questions that we asked is how much was their travel budget for the team, with their kids, with gas, hotel, you know, if it's airfare, whatever, all kinds of that. They all ranged, but looking at once on the Excel sheet, an average was about $5,000. So with adding all of them, and some of them left it blank. It was what they were estimating what they brought to the city was $368,600 of economic impact, and that's including from lodging, gas, food. You know, if they go to museum, anything they do, any attractions, they go play more. Main event. Main event actually was very helpful. They were there with us because there's restaurants that go in and they drop off flyers, coupons for the teams. And Main event actually, if you see on the big photo where there's some papers, those are the surveys. They were actually giving a nice clear cup and with coupons and promotions for the teams and the parents. So they actually, the manager and one of his sales staff was the one that was helping Eileen and I, because man, it was crazy. Everybody was starting coming, but we provided sports bottles to each team, and then we gave a really nice packet with information on where to go, things to do with, you know, like I mentioned, the postcards for sister cities, for museums, for everything, all the things that we have to feature. Hospitals, emergency clinics, anything that they needed. So it's a really good packet where they get hands-on all the information. And then we discussed as well the opening ceremony, because that was a huge partake for this event. All the teams walking in the stadium. So we explained that as well as the opening ceremony, how it's gonna work. And we really focus a lot on you know, on their downtime to go and explore the city, go to different places. Go to the arena, especially to Arena for Sister City. So it was a really good event. Everybody, you know, had really good experience, and it was really interesting to see where they were all coming from. On the participating cities, you could see some of them have, you know, 5 teams, 2 teams. The ones that don't have anything is because it was just one team from that city. And but the majority of where we had all the teams were from Texas. But it was really good.
One thing to mention is that these amount of room nights and the travel budget that you see is only for the team.
Yeah.
This doesn't include the families.
Yeah.
So the families might be staying adding room nights to this, adding travel budget,
Yeah.
because if they come, some of them brought their RV, so they bring the whole family, some others are in a hotel room, so we're talking about additional impact to the
Impact,
city,
yeah.
but this is only the teams. Who we survey is the coaches.
The coaches.
So we survey 1 coach per team,
Yeah.
and we provide that packet to the coach.
Mm.
And as Joel mentioned, we give them a bag with water bottles, which is key right now with the heat that we have. I mean, we made sure that all the girls were very well hydrated. We wanted to make sure. And Parks did an amazing job on putting this together, this whole event together with Pony. This is an event, going back to having both events at the same time. This was very tricky for us. It was challenging. I mean, the team, I have to say, kudos to the whole CBB team, Casa Laredo team, because we were all in different places at the same time, and things went very well. Everything went the way it should have been, and so I'm really proud of the whole team, because without any issues, we just went through that week, and we had 3 less staff members, so that was I'm very proud of what the team achieved.
Bravo, bravo, bravo.
Yeah, no, nobody, everybody it was seamless, and again, we had 3 less people. We had Vero, Irma, and Selene. Selene had some health issues, and so she couldn't come. And so without 3 people, and we just, I mean, without any issues, it just flew, and so I'm really proud of the team.
Well, you mentioned the main event, that's the one at the
At the
mall.
mall.
At the mall.
At the mall.
Yeah, they actually went out with promoting them, because they give, those cups were really nice.
Yeah.
And then they gave discounts and coupons and all that stuff.
And they
So-
partnered with other entities, they
Yeah.
partnered with other restaurants,
Yeah.
with.
Popeyes was there.
Yeah, different attractions and different restaurants.
Yeah.
Pony partners with them. So that's something that Pony does directly with the restaurants and the attractions.
Yeah.
Did Playmore reach out to you, or we reached out to Playmore?
Playmore was actually there for the opening ceremony, and they
Yes.
gave out their information.
Yeah.
At the coaches meeting, I didn't see them.
So again, that's something that it's directly
Directly Pony, yeah.
They're the ones, so if anybody wants to sponsor or they want to reach out directly to the team,
That goes
that's
to
through
That's their
Pony.
business.
Yeah.
Yes, that, we
We don't get involved in that.
Yeah, they don't get it right.
Yeah. But I was really good, because we had the opening ceremony, must have had, over 5,000 people?
it was
Packed. It was packed.
And we gave out hand fans
Fans.
and pins. They like to trade pins, so
Yeah.
Monica did a great job in sourcing pins, record amount of time.
Yeah.
And so we had pins for them, we had the hand fans, and of course
Postcards,
information
visitor guides, we
for
gave
Sister
everything.
Cities. Yeah.
And then the next day, we opened up a information little kiosk in a store, so we had some of our stuff that we sell. So that was
Yeah.
really popular too. There
Yeah,
at
we
At
had,
Unit Trade?
No, at
No,
the, at the,
no,
At
at
the
the base.
at the base.
So the Tuesday was the opening ceremony. We had tables there with information, but the next day, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, but we have a gazebo that's
Mhm.
all branded. And so we put it at the base, which is where most of the teams were
Yeah,
playing.
the little ones,
The little ones, I think it's 6, 8, and 10.
12, up to 12.
6 through 12.
Mhm.
And so we put our gazebo there. Again, we're talking super skeleton crew. But we had 2 people every 2 hours to make sure that nobody got overheated. And we had not only our information kiosk, but we also had our shop.
Yeah,
So we
Big
had,
shop
this
on
is the
wheels.
first time we took our shop on the road,
yeah.
and it was pretty successful. We had it there that day, and then we had it at Sister Cities. And overall, I think during the week, we sold about $1,000.
It goes over.
Yeah, it was over $1,000.
I know the number was over 1,000 that week.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that week. And so that includes people that came to our shop here, people that shopped at the base, and people that shopped at Sister
Okay.
Cities, because a lot of people were going in and they wanted to buy the Sister Cities shirt or the
Yeah.
Sister Cities bag.
Yeah.
They wanted some sort of swag that had the Sister Cities
Mhm.
logo.
Souvenirs.
Yeah.
Yes. So I don't know if there's any questions
Any questions,
regarding our
Madam Chair?
Coney report?
Now moving on to the sister cities.
Yes, so as I mentioned, we had 21,850 attendees. It's a little bit below the number that we had in 2019, but given the coming out of a pandemic, we think it's a pretty good number. So we mentally, of course, we wanted 25,000, but we knew that if we got over 20,000, it was gonna be a good, pretty good number. So we had the breakdown. We had a record amount of sponsors. People were calling last minute to get a sponsorship. Selena was coming with sponsorships and new people, and so we had $13,500 generated as sponsorships. That helps us offset the cost of the event, which the numbers are a little bit.
What
further.
was the platinum sponsor total? I mean, $3,500, $1,000?
It's 2,750. The gold is 1,750, and then
But how much did IBC Falcon pay?
$2,750.
2,000.
Given the fact that you had a great response, should next year add more levels to sponsorships and maybe even have like a title sponsor that can pay?
That's a very good.
Selena has a whole
Yeah.
vision for
Yeah, because I think
Very
2000,
promotional.
yes, in the 2000 is low. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very many.
You rarely see sponsorships like that.
Yes, so Selena has already a whole plan. She already mapped what
Yeah.
booths she wants for sponsors.
Yes.
What was the gold sponsor?
Yes.
1,750.
Yes, yeah.
$1,000 less than that.
Yes.
Yeah, $1,000.
You can add, more publicity, like on your
Yes.
posters, for your titles and.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
We agree with you. These are only the sponsors that were at the platinum and gold level,
Right.
because these are the ones that get a booth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything below, which is silver and bronze, they do not get a booth. They are sponsors, they come in and it's 700 and 500, am I correct? And so they are sponsors, but they do not get a booth. So what you see here is only the ones that get a booth. But yes, no, definitely, we agree with you. We joke with Selena because she was like, I want this one and I'm gonna charge this and this.
Yeah.
So, no, definitely, we're on the same page. We want to, there's a lot of ideas, and I'm also very thankful because this year we had to rearrange staff and what activities was everybody doing. And I think that's always good to bring new ideas.
Yeah.
And so having different set of eyes, Joel joining in operations, Selena doing the sponsorships and other things that she hasn't done in the past, and staff doing different things has brought new and fresh ideas to what we can do with Sister Cities. So we're excited
Did
about the
Sister
next year.
Cities get enough volunteers for their booths or no?
No, and we're gonna touch on
Okay,
volunteers.
okay.
So total room nights, again, we survey everybody, right?
Yeah.
Part of what we do, we survey everybody. So we surveyed the exhibitors. When they come and they pick up their registration packet, we survey them. And so 180 booths surveyed. Why less than the amount of booths? Because some of them have 2 or 3 booths. So we survey per company, not necessarily per booth. 492 exhibitor hotel nights, 33 exhibitor Airbnb nights. So we know that they stay in Airbnbs and in hotels. volunteers. No, we didn't get enough volunteers this year. We saw a decrease. We only got 82 volunteers, where in the past, we've gotten in the hundreds.
Yeah.
This year, we've worked with a lot of the schools. We do need to rework our calendar to make sure that we are, and that's something that Joel is already working on, and making sure that we advise the schools with more time, so that they have time to get the students excited about
Because that's
partnering.
all, a lot of that is all community hours that are accounted for
Exactly.
in their curriculum.
Yes.
Yeah.
One thing, that, maybe to make it more attractive, maybe attach some kind of training that they can use, or some kind of value that they can get. Yes, I see, maybe not everybody, but there's a big part of the youth that they want that experience. They wanna know that what are they gonna get out of it. It's not only the community hours, but it's what is gonna be the value. What am I, like, I'm gonna be investing this time, what am I gonna get in return, which,
You're gonna practice your Spanish.
yeah.
But
Yes, but we have to sell the idea that this is gonna be good for you,
It's
it's gonna be,
beneficial.
it's gonna be
Yes.
beneficial, you can put it, when you're applying for
Yeah.
college,
And
like, we
just-
have to sell the idea, not just ask for volunteers, because it can get lost. in
Right.
the
And
mess-
not
The
just
message
any-
can be lost,
Yeah.
but if we sell that idea, if we create like a good, a flyer that says,
Mhm.
this is why you wanna volunteer, and this is what you're gonna get in return, and,
yeah.
you
No,
know.
that's a great idea.
Mhm.
We'll definitely put, because, we're selling the experience, and a lot of them
Yes.
have, it's in different booths, but several of them have had great experiences in terms of learning a skill,
Yes.
or, from practicing their Spanish to learning a skill, learning a craft, so, no, that is, thank you,
Yeah, and it can be like part of your orientation, that we're
And
gonna
that's-
teach you customer service, or
Yeah.
I don't know, something that.
Yeah.
And that's something that we do, Magali, that we do, not unlike, when we go to the orientation, we make sure, we let them know that, that they're gonna learn a lot of
Yes.
skills,
Mhm.
and how it's good for their resume, because they're working volunteering for the city, doing this big event, and so we do focus on that. What was interesting, this year with the volunteers that we didn't know, is that now if you're 18 and over, even if you're a college student, you have to get background checks. Because of city ordinance now, if you're 18 and over, you have to go more through processes, so that was another deteriorating,
Mhm.
because they had to pay police a
Yes.
$10 fee or 12, I don't know what's the new fee to get a background check in the sheriff's department. So a lot of people say,
That
I'm
was
gonna
a
volunteer,
sheriff's.
and
Yeah,
I
that
still have to
makes
pay $20-30 to get 2 reports, and then,
But no,
so.
I think we can do a
But-
better job
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
selling
How to
the
work it out,
experience.
yeah,
the-
how selling the
You
experience.
can
Yes.
even, now that we're looking into having more sponsors, you can
Yes.
even tie something,
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
a
some of that
lunch or
money.
something,
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
that to compensate
Yeah.
Yeah.
that expense.
Maybe part of the sponsors' money can also help the volunteers get their background checks, get this,
Yeah.
Mhm.
use some of that money maybe, instead of it having to come out of
And
their
use
own
those
pocket.
sponsorships like to promote it, like Pro News, like LMT, like having
Mhm.
that, like, you wanna be part of this group because
Yeah.
this is all the skills.
Who's the volunteer coordinator? You are, or?
This year was Nora.
Nora,
She's our friend this
Oh,
year.
yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
we
we
work-
put up a big old sign, thank you volunteers,
Mhm.
because a lot of times we don't thank them enough.
Mhm.
Yes.
I remember, when I was over at the food bank, I said, let's put up a big old sign. I went to this food bank one time, and they had a big old sign, thank you volunteers. And I said, wow, we don't thank them enough.
Yeah, because sometimes the volunteers are the ones that they start hammering on, and these people are there at no charge, like, they're there
Yeah.
giving their time, their effort, and then there's customers or whatever,
To
they'll
really
go after
acknowledge
them, or they get mad at them,
Yeah.
or, it's
And-
your fault,
Yeah.
and so I think that's very discouraging, and so the thank yous,
No, right, no,
it's
no, I
really,
mean-
And
Yeah.
something good that happened this year,
Have to do something special for them.
yeah, was that even though we didn't have that many number, I think all of them were very excellent volunteers.
that's great, yeah.
Because in years past, we've had exhibitors, oh, he's just lazy, he doesn't wanna do anything, he's just sitting down, or he's not talking. This year we
And
had
this year-
0 complaints.
That's
We
great.
saw kids dancing and, hey, come and buy your cookies and buy this, and I'm like, oh my
Some
god.
of them get really into
Yeah,
it, so,
right.
yeah, no, this
So-
year we were amazed at, I mean,
With the
we
people
had
that we had.
minimum
was-
number of
wow,
complaints, we
yeah.
had, yeah.
Yeah,
And
it
the
was-
mom that went in, and she's like, I wanna sign my daughter up so she can learn Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no, thank you for all the comments, we'll
Yeah,
definitely,
and did they get any meals or anything?
no, they
had
get-
to pay for it.
they get hours, so the way that the volunteers
Yeah,
get,
no, but
Compensated?
when they're there,
So we,
They
Lunch break,
given,
they-
lunch break, they
meals
go on their
or
own, we
On their
provide,
own, okay.
Yeah.
we provide refreshments.
we provide water, sodas for
yeah,
them.
correct.
So if at any point, any of the volunteers, they get
Yeah.
thirsty, they know they can come to the volunteer room and they can get for free waters or sodas, whatever they want. No limit, so they know that we provide during the whole weekend. So artisans, we had 194 artisan booths, 13 states represented. As I mentioned, Uruapan, Michoacan was a guest of honor. We also had people from Aguascalientes, Oaxaca, Estado de Mexico, Querétaro, Nuevo León, Coahuila, San Luis Potosí, Tamaulipas, Zacatecas, Jalisco, Puebla, Veracruz, and Michoacán.
That's really beautiful.
And so it was,
Everybody here.
and I don't know if you noticed, but there was a lot of different products this year, a lot of new products. Yes, so we wanted to make sure that we keep the favorite ones. I mean, as I mentioned to somebody, we're never gonna, not never, but we're always gonna have the escobas and the trapeadores, right? And we're always gonna have some type of rebozo and las empanadas or las campechanas. We're always gonna have. But we wanna make sure that we also have something new for people. So this year we had like Ciudad Fernandez, I don't know if you saw it at San Luis Potosí. They had wonderful things and they were all new, they were coming. Uruapan was a really different one. And so we wanna make sure every year we bring a little bit of something new, something different so that people can, they're looking forward to coming back, not just for the product that they always want, but also
New
to see
products.
what new products we are bringing.
I think one, if I would make a comment, is just that that the state they're coming from can be more visible. Sometimes like they have the name of, their store or, the booth number and stuff like that, but we don't know a lot of background of the culture part, And
Okay.
I think it's an area that and maybe,
Maybe
I don't know,
flyers,
recognizing,
right?
or maybe
Or
like
something.
a banner that says, this is
About
Puebla,
this.
or this is Tamaulipas, or this is just, just so we see it, because since they're not grouped by state, they're in different areas, which is great, like, I'm not saying that you should group them, but
We try to group them, but sometimes.
in the
it's not
past, right, but it's not.
Yeah.
Mhm.
not-
But having something that can
Almost
identify
like
the
a museum
state,
type
or,
where you get the
yes.
information.
And maybe it's
Yeah.
something that they can provide to you guys, like when you make that sign for that wood, to add something else, something.
Yeah, whatever they.
We'll definitely look into that. I know that this year, we give them a sign with the state.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets buried in between all this stuff, but we'll figure something out. San Luis Potosí, for example, this year, San Luis Potosí gave them all, the table cover, it had a banner that said San Luis Potosí. But in the amount of people that gathered,
You can't see
That gets lost.
Get lost,
so,
yeah.
yeah, no, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea, especially to highlight the cultural part of the two
Yes.
cities.
Yes.
So yeah, no, definitely we'll figure something out.
Yes,
Put like a
and-
billboard, a little billboard over another,
Yeah.
I have a couple other suggestions as a
Yes.
participant in Sister City and a retail store. I did still get a lot of comments, when I promote the show, they think it's very expensive. I said, no, it's free admission.
Uh-huh.
And I know we brought up in the past, so it's not all in print, but I think maybe a little more emphasis.
Okay.
Now we have the little bond because they oversee it. And then when I tell them it's free admission, oh, but they're gonna get you the parking. No, it's free parking.
It was free.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering if you can also put that, free parking.
Mhm.
Because the LEA or Saints has got a reputation of
I've
being
tried.
very
Charging.
expensive.
They did it once and they have 10 years ago.
Let me add
They
something.
did it for like one hockey game.
I'm right because I'm at 10 people free show after the show.
Oh my god. Yes.
If I had told them that,
Yeah,
and on some of the postcards, it does say free admission, but wait a minute at the bottom, you know.
Yeah, I
yeah,
tried to put it there in the top.
Some on the top and add free parking.
free parking. And I mentioned it a lot on the radio where I was
In
there.
the interviews.
Yes, so
Yeah.
all the interviews, but yeah,
Yeah.
we'll make sure,
But we'll add
because I know
the
people have
difference.
that
I
perception.
know, because the
So-
first thing they said, oh, they're gonna get you the parking,
Uh-huh.
$20.
We said air conditioned, so.
Air conditioning, free parking, free admission.
I have another little suggestion, and
Yes.
it's taken appropriately, but, you know, at the registration, you all give us these real nice little clear fanny packs.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic, you put them on, you have change.
Mm.
But I'm not too sure that's the right optic, because once we start making sales, it's full of money, and people start
Okay.
saying, oh, give me a better discount, you already made your money.
Okay, so,
Maybe
not
not,
clear fanny packs.
I don't know, it was the right optic, and then when I was walking to my car,
That's what you have.
I know some of the other participants,
Had the same issue, yeah.
no, I don't think that's the same issue, but they were walking to the car and they're elderly ladies. I said, what if, somebody sees
Somebody-
them?
Yeah,
Fortunately, nothing happened that I know of,
yeah, no.
but as I was walking to my car, and I made sure that, you know, they got to their car, I said,
Mhm.
you know, it's all full of money. And
Yeah.
someone from the streets, you know,
And this is the first year that we make them clear,
Yeah.
so we'll,
I'm just not.
no,
I'm
that's
just
a
saying
really
that's the
good,
right optic, if
Yeah.
that's the word.
that's a really good piece of feedback, thank you.
Yeah.
I would appreciate that, because you're the one using it,
Yes,
and you know,
And
you
I would
know.
get that look, because they'll
I'm over here.
I mean, it's just, you see all the full of money, it's all ones and fives.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
thank
It's
you.
all full because I don't have a chance to fix it, I'm just stuffing it in.
Yeah.
No, and we
Yeah.
don't,
So when somebody comes, they go,
yeah,
Mark, you better give me a better price, you're gonna meet your money,
yeah.
you're gonna get your profit.
On the same
Thank you.
subject about the free admission, I had people coming to the front desk asking for more free admission tickets. They thought that.
Oh, it was a ticket for
Oh.
Oh.
Yes,
Okay.
so, you
Do
know,
we give you what you guys need more?
I didn't
or-
look at them,
We'll give you more.
I didn't look at them, and I was like, okay, why are they getting that? It's just because the postcard had, you know, some information and then it said
Yeah.
free admission.
Sure.
So they got the perception that, oh, this is
Yeah.
my.
My ticket to go
They
in.
not several people.
No,
The arena has a it's got that reputation.
Yes, 10 years
So
ago,
we
charge
see-
one time.
Yes.
One
Yeah.
lucky game.
What is
And I have to say that we'll put more emphasis on that, because
Yeah.
even within the city, they were calling me and saying, hey, we want to invite pony people, can you give us passes? And I'm like, it's free admission. So, yeah, no, it's a very good comment, and we'll
Maybe
put
free, just walk
more,
in. I
yeah.
don't know, something, we can work
Yes,
something.
something like
I'll
that.
start.
Our purchasing agent called me and he was seeing me enter all the requisitions for Sister Cities Festival. And he's like, hey Monica, I sent you an email and you haven't replied. And I'm like, no, I have all the POs you sent me. He said, yes, but at the bottom I put a question. How much is it to get in? And I'm like, Frank!
Yeah, well, I see, like, you know, LEA sings, you
Yeah.
automatically think that's gonna be charged.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you don't think that, they're gonna charge you for the parking,
yeah,
for the reputation.
And we had no
That's
problem
across
with
the board.
security and all that.
No.
nothing.
There was,
I-
nobody fought, nobody.
Nothing.
It
We
was so
had,
smooth.
we had one cut of a vendor, but he was very promptly fixed.
Yeah.
They put bandages at, the second year, I was gonna say the other. Saint Star Arena, was great, they had, provided great service as always. Fire department, parks department, PD, everybody was wonderful. This year, we can honestly say at the end, we were like, did this happen without a hitch? Like, it
So
was,
just a well-oiled machine, just smooth, like you didn't miss a bump.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
For
like
2
we
years
had
that we
been
had it
doing
done?
it for the,
You
yeah,
weren't rusty at all.
yeah, we,
If anything, I think.
I'm glad
Friday
it
is
did
thank you, everybody.
I'm glad it didn't show.
It's smoother than any other show. I think this is the smoothest one it went.
I think so.
I think
It felt
so.
like it.
We felt the fact that we had the two shows at the same time. We did feel the fact that we had Pony and Sister Cities, and like we said, we're not getting any younger, so the fact that we had the two at the same time with less people and doing it, we felt it,
Yeah.
but we're glad that to the public it showed, like, everybody was coming and saying, they were so excited to come back. They
Oh,
were
yeah.
so excited, the exhibitors, And then the public was so excited about the show coming back.
Yeah.
And so I can honestly say it went very, very smoothly. And it just was a good experience coming back of.
It's a very good show, because we passed out a lot of brochures, and we must have had 20, 30 people go to the store over the weekend.
Oh, that's great.
That's
That's
awesome.
great. Yes.
It's
No,
great, and
that's
they all
awesome.
just talked about the sister city, and how come you don't have it once a month?
If they only knew.
Once a month.
We will have holiday market by Sister Cities again, as part of, and this is part of the feedback that y'all provided of having more of this type of shows. I don't think we can do it every month, but we tested last year the holiday market. It went very well. This is the first year that we have it with Sister Cities, so it's like doing it for the first time again to see how people react to the show. But we will have it in November here at the outlets. We already had a meeting with the outlets, and they're excited about having us back. And so we'll do it again where we have the 75 vendors in the outlet as more of like a winter Christmas holiday
Okay.
market. So we're definitely bringing it back. So we hope you can
Yes,
Are-
definitely.
join us.
Are there gonna be any plans to try and grow it? I know that that's like a dream, right? And how can we make it
Yeah,
grow?
you can
Like-
afford.
Yes, so the first step was holiday market,
Yeah.
having it, I know the pandemic kinda trampled our plans of growing it with
Yeah.
something else. So this year, we will attempt to bring back the plans that we had.
Yeah.
As the only thing that might delay us in those plans is making sure that we get more people. So we have 2 positions that we're gonna post. We don't need additional, funding. The good thing is we don't need additional funding, or we don't need additional approval from council for those 2 positions because it's replacing people, but making sure that we do have, additional staff to be able to expand it.
Expand.
Yes, definitely, it's like you said, it's the dream.
The dream is.
We wanna make sure, and, we're not letting the dream go.
Yeah.
It's still there, we just need to make sure that we have enough staff.
Like I know in Santa Fe, they have an Indian market,
Mhm.
one week. One week they have a Spanish market,
Mhm,
and another week they have an American market,
Wow.
mhm.
right? Or, or months, right? But man, every one of those markets, people.
And that's one of the things that, usually, this is done by either a Main Street organization or a local organization, a nonprofit. So we would love if somebody in the community would like to step up and say, now we wanna do it, partner, to do something like
Have
that.
y'all talked to Malden Norte ever? Because they have a million square feet there. I mean, we're talking about parking plus, I don't know, just ask.
We haven't,
I'll talk to
The-
them.
yeah, if we
Like
did
where the
this,
Sears location is.
Yeah, that.
yeah.
It's.
Well, I know Sears is,
Or
that's
is
it
not
their
all
contract?
property.
Yeah.
That
Oh.
Sears would own their spaces,
Yeah.
but they have others.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, with the outlets, it happened that we were trying to find a location for Sister City, the holiday market last year,
Yeah.
and they just
That's
jumped
awesome.
in
Yeah,
as,
great.
as a great partner. But yeah, no, we would
Also,
love to see
Would an
it.
option be if the holiday market grows and grows, have it at the LEA, at the things?
It all
You wanna keep it
depends,
separated, so it doesn't seem the same.
exactly, we wanna keep it separate, and also the cost. The cost is very high at the LEA, as you will see in
At the
the
same.
next slide, at the same.
Yeah.
Um,
On page 17.
So in page 17, these are the expenses, so we spent a total of almost $140,000 in the event. We obviously, as a city department, we're not a revenue, we're not an enterprise fund. We're not looking to make money out of this, we're just looking to provide a service to our visitors. And so we know that we're not gonna get all the money back. But this year, we were able, between sponsorships and booth fees, we were able to, get, our revenue was $55,000, which is pretty good. I think it's one of the highest revenues that we've ever gotten for this event. And so we're always looking for ways to offset some of the cost. But it is a high ticket event, for us at least. We know that the sales that were reported to us were 367,485. 70,000 of that was in credit cards, which is the highest number we've ever seen in credit cards. This year there was a change. We had 3 credit card stations instead of 1, and people were really happy with that. A lot of people came back to us and said that the feedback was great. Because now if you were on one side, you could go to one station. If you were in the middle, you could go to another one. If you were in the concourse, you could go to the other one. So that cut in times for the volunteers to go get the payment, and it also cut on the time that the vendor had to spend outside of their booth. So about $70,000 in just credit card sales.
Of that total sales of 367.
Yes. And some of the marketing efforts, as I mentioned, this year also, something that we offer for our guests of honor is the opportunity to do a media tour. And so, marketing took our guests of honor from Uruapan to different media outlets, and with the assistance of PIO, they scheduled different appointments, and so they were in KGNS, they were in Telemundo. We had countless interviews with Univision, with Telemundo, with everybody, radios. We had paid live remotes over there from the arena. I mean, we went all out on promotion. Of course, our postcard distribution, it goes out, and this is only the physical postcard, but we also have the electronic postcard, and that one goes also to the county. It goes to the school districts. We provide the postcard to all the city departments. So we make sure that everybody in the city at least hears about the event. We have our street banners, which this year they were changing vendor, because this year, as soon as we put them up, we were getting calls that they broke, and so we're changing vendors for next year. But our street banners, so billboards in Dallas, San Antonio, the Valley. So we have a big push for this event.
On billboards, nothing in the Corpus Christi area?
Not this.
Or, something in the Corpus Christi.
What do we
I
have?
was saying along the valley, we didn't have any Corpus placements at the time, but we can go ahead and add Corpus for next year.
Yeah, right. Because, a lot of people from San Diego, from Freer, go to Corpus.
Mm-hmm.
And see that stuff.
No.
Alice.
Yeah. We'll definitely add Corpus to our lineup for next year. And we had also an email campaign, so we had 7,444. We had a total open of 15%, which is really good for e-campaign. And we added people to that campaign now with the people that sign up for in our survey. And that concludes the Sister Cities report. Madam Chair, I don't know if there are any additional questions. We really appreciate your feedback, and as I mentioned, we're not throwing the dream away. We're gonna keep our finger on that, because we definitely would like to grow that event. And I think having holiday market is just the first step, but growing the actual July event, it will happen. We just need to figure out how to do it. Yeah.
How to incorporate. And you had a great point, like maybe partnering up with another organization that would be.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to take this moment to thank all of the LCDB, members, workers, everybody that contributed to the Sister Cities and Clubs. I think you all did an amazing job, and sometimes less people make it more efficient, and sometimes that's how come, you have less heads to communicate with sometimes, that makes it a little smoother sometimes, but I'd like to congratulate each and every one of you. You're doing a great job.
Second motion.
Thank you.
I got a quick question. Venue expense, what does that include? Just the rental facility?
It includes rental, includes, ushers, includes
Fire, police,
fire marshal, police,
security.
security, food and beverage, because we also have, food, we have the delegates breakfast, we had a lunch this time with delegates. We have, drinks for all the volunteers, so food and beverage is also included. The turnaround of the venue, like setup, we also get pipe and drape from the arena, so that's also included. What else am I missing?
The stage.
Stage, yeah, all the rental of all the equipment. Again, ushers, staff, housekeeping, security,
Electric.
Electric.
everything.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool, thanks.
Eileen, I noticed on radio, have the same people approached KHOY? I know it's a tough deal sometimes, Jeff, because you have to go through the bishop and what have you, but I think
Yeah. A lot of people never.
it's
You know,
KHOY.
I did not reach out to KHOY.
Maybe we should, or maybe some of us who know the bishop, or, you know, I mean, because I know sometimes they say, oh, well, if it's not promoting the diocese and what have you, we'll do it. But,
We'll do a master.
what's that?
We'll do a master, not just kidding.
A master?
A mass, a service.
A mass,
Yeah, on Sunday.
Yeah, right, but,
Before the
You can tell them we're selling groceries.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't hear one man.
Then we'll tell them that they're selling groceries.
Ah, well, and the fact is
Sure.
that they cover everything from Eagle Pass down on the air. And sometimes KHOY beats all these other radio stations as far as listenership.
Yeah, we'll add it to the contact list.
Listenership.
Yeah, already wrote it down. Thank you.
Okay, so any other questions? If not, we're gonna move on to the marketing efforts, which is the digital report, which is on page 20.
Selena?
So here you'll see just the statistics from our website, which is visittheradio.com. We keep track of the basic analytics, which are where people are finding us, how they're finding us, our page views, sessions, length of sessions, and we also keep track of our social media growth, how many likes we've got, our engagements on all social media avenues, which are Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and it's something that, you know, helps us stay accountable and see where it is that we're improving, where it is that we can go ahead and keep on growing. And we just want to make sure that we stay transparent with all our numbers for the committee.
In these cities, you don't see international, you don't see Mexico, like Monterrey, Mexico.
You know, we can go ahead and pull that number out
Yeah.
because, you know, you can go ahead and source it by US and by Mexico. But we do have
Now
we have a strong Mexican following.
Yes, yeah, so that way you can show
Yeah.
that you have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do we, look into how many people hashtag Laredo, like all on Laredo, LTX, that kind of stuff? I'm just curious, I don't know. Do
We,
you guys follow that stuff?
we do.
Okay.
We just keep, you know, what's going on, what's current right now. Locally, we see a lot of vendors, you know, a lot of local businesses that, you know, and that also helps us expunge and source out on people that we can go ahead and repost as well.
You know, the most popular ones are, obviously all of Laredo's one.
Yeah,
Is, what else do you guys?
This is already.
we see Laredo, Texas, and Laredo TX,
Laredo, Texas, and
Uh-huh.
Laredo TX?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
that are just like, have grown on their own.
Yeah, sure,
Because the
sure.
ones that come from us are,
I know I
The
put LTX a lot.
yeah.
Okay, I was wondering, so what we can do
To
I have
increase
my
it.
marketing team, like, we have business openings, and I wanna make sure I'm using the right,
Yeah.
okay. Those four. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Selena, thank you so much. Is there any other questions for Selena? If not, we're going to go over the upcoming activity, which is on page 23. It's a 3-month upcoming activity report.
Sorry, Maria.
That's
We're
okay.
multitasking.
I know.
Our 3-month upcoming activity, we have, one of our influencers that we've worked in the past with, Sonny Narvaez from Monterrey. So Reina is working with ADS Comunicación, our agency of record in Mexico, to bring him this week, right?
Yes, Friday
This
and Saturday.
weekend. And so we've seen a lot of success with influencers. That is something that even other destinations are trying to copy, even calling the same influencers to try to get them to go to their destination. So we've seen a lot of success, so we're excited about bringing Sony to Laredo again. We're also traveling, Selena, Reina, and I were traveling to South Padre Island to the summer conference of the Texas Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus. This is a convention where we attempt to get CEU hours for our designations. And so Reina is about to finish her TDM, which is her Texas Destination Marketer designation. Selena and I already have it. I'm also attending the board meeting for TACVP. I'm part of the board, and so I'm attending the board meeting there at the annual convention. Casalera staff will attend the Mexico Auto Industry Summit as part of our efforts with Port Laredo. September, I'm also part of the Texas Travel Alliance board, and so I'm attending their meeting as well as the Texas Travel Summit. And Joel is going to Irving for the New Ideas Conference. It's a conference that gathers meeting planners from all over Texas. So it's a great opportunity for us to network with meeting planners and see what opportunities we have to bring them here to Laredo. And also small market meetings is also show with meeting planners, this one from all over the country and even Mexico. And we are doing the Albuquerque International Balloon Festival this year. We're trying to expand our leisure market in the US. So, as you know, for many years we were heavily focused in Mexico. For the last 2-3 years, we're moving that focus into the US, making sure that we bring this market too. And so now we're expanding. We started with our campaign, we started with the podcast, things like that, and then we're expanding to the leisure shows. So we want to make sure that we're expanding our reach with our US market. And so the Albuquerque International Balloon Festival is that. And the Global Produce and Flower Show is also part of Port Laredo.
Does anybody have any comments or questions?
I flew through them, but.
Any comments or questions or anything like that? Okay, so our next meeting is scheduled for September the 1st. And do we have any other announcements to bring to our meeting today?
And a little shout out to Monica for emailing us and calling us and emailing. We should all remember, but somebody, and I want to thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's very nice.
I have to say, when you mentioned that smaller team, I was talking to management and I said, well, we have a very well oiled machine, and I think it's because we have people that are very experienced. Monica has been here 20 plus years, Joel almost 20 years, Selena, and I almost, well, you 13? 14, me for myself 12. It's the youngest one is the youngest one. The most recent one is right now with 6 years. So we have a team that we work together. We spend most of our time together, and so we like every family, once in a while, we get at each other, but I have to say that it's just a pleasure every day working with this team and knowing that everybody's very passionate about what we do.
It's always been that way. I've been here since 2006.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
We don't want to, brother.
This is an organization that's just not only well-oiled machine, but just the caring and the attitude. It's just unbelievable, amazing. And I want to thank all of you.
Thank you.
every
Thank
one
you.
of you.
Yeah, I wanted to add, you guys are doing an amazing job. I apologize, I haven't been here, I've been traveling to the Valley a lot, but I'm gonna be more present, I'm committed to that. And, you know, one of the things I just keep hearing about Laredo from people that I know that come from out of town is just food. I think we really need to focus on the food.
It's true, because I get a lot of comments.
Yeah.
They come here just for the food.
Yeah,
Yes.
literally. There was a guy yesterday that came from San Antonio, he'd never been, and, I mean, just a small example, he was delivering a golf cart for us, and I said, hey, I gotta go get the check, go over to 550 Pizzeria, try their calzone and their fried pickles. And he's like, I'm bringing my wife here next weekend. And I was like, hey, I have a bunch of things for you to do if you wanna come here. So, I mean, just the food that we have here is very unique. I just feel like, instead of visit Laredo, it's eat Laredo. We need to eat here.
I have to say, 12%, and some of the data and the analytics that we're getting now,
Yeah.
12% of all the conversations about Laredo, positive conversations about Laredo, are about food.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Sure.
So, and that's the highest number,
And
like
I want to go to
12%.
the, you know, the
All the wall.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
all those places.
I
I
have
like a grill can get in San Antonio, you know?
Yeah.
But even,
And it's not the same.
It's
It's
not
not
the
the
No,
same.
it's not the same, no. at all.
I have a friend, she became a friend, she was originally one of our customers, a meeting planner from Austin.
Uh-huh.
She became a good friend and she comes for Sister Cities every year with her daughter and she's vegetarian.
Yeah.
And now they make it a point and they go to the Quinto Sol. Now there's more options. They go try different food. They go get pan dulce. And they come from Austin every year. And so no, definitely we agree with you. The
Yeah.
conversation about culinary offerings is
And then
important.
like I said, they like those places, you know,
Mhm.
they like the plaque, those, that type of
Mhm.
places, that are mom and pop operations.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So no, we agree.
Yeah, cool. Thank you
Las
guys.
Palmas.
Yeah,
Las
thank you.
Palmas, yeah. My sister-in-law drives from Bernie just to eat at Obregón, Quecas, and Las Palmas.
All great stuff.
Well, I think that pretty much finishes our meeting. I just want to take a few moments to thank everybody who comes to our meeting every month. Everybody takes time out of their busy schedules, and thank you all so much for being here today. And if there's nothing else to bring to our meeting,
Just wanna have one thing, maybe,
Okay.
I don't know if you have a list of just Mexican restaurants on some of your literatures.
We do, we have in our visitor guide and our website.
Mexican restaurants.
Yes, Mexican restaurants, which is a large chunk,
Yeah.
but we do have it, we do.
okay, so we're ready to adjourn our meeting. Do we have a motion to?
I want to adjourn.
Do we have a second motion?
One second.
Motion carries. Thank you all so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
You guys.